Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Your favorite traveling doctor, a global traveling physician. That's me, Yvette McQueen. Have you ever wondered the difference between TSA Precheck, Global Entry, Clear, which one you should have? So I'm here to tell you about that today. So TSA Precheck, Transportation Security Authority, it's governed by the Department of Homeland Security, and it's basically a expedited security check for airports for flying. So you can fill out online, but they do a background check on you, and you actually have an appointment to be fingerprinted. So it lasts for 5 years. It costs $85 for 5 years, and then renewed at $70. So it allows you to go through the TSA PreCheck line at airports where you don't have to take off your belt or your shoes, take out your laptop, your liquids, things like that. Expedited. It also is at smaller airports. People think it's just at the big airports. It's at smaller airports. If you're at a smaller airport, they give you a special card that allows you to go through the line, and you don't have to take those items out or off. Can you get kicked off a TSA PreCheck? Yes, you can. So all those passengers that are causing ruckus on the planes and fighting flight attendants and different things like that, if they had TSA PreCheck, they can get kicked off. You can get kicked off also for certain felonies, because they constantly do a background check on you. It's not just that once. They just like to keep up with you. Global entry. So global entry is also governed by Department of Homeland Security. Yes, it is. So it's the same as TSA PreCheck, except it's for when you enter in the United States by air, planes, but also for land and sea. So you can use global entry for entering by car, crossing the borders, and also by sea. It's for 5 years also. You apply, you do the initial online application, you get a conditionally approved. They do a background check on you, and you actually have to go in for an interview where they will fingerprint you and do retinal scans on you. And that's how they determine who you are. They also look at your passport and do the interview, like where you've been, what you've been doing, why did you go to this country, things like that. You can also get kicked off for global entry for certain things, like if you're coming back through customs and you violate any of the immigration laws. So remember, like if you're getting off the airplane and you had snacks from the plane and you're entering into the United States, throw them away. You're not supposed to bring any food from any other country into the United States, even if it was from on the airline. The airline gave you a little snack pack, throw it away. Because if they, for any reason, checked you, you can be fined and violated, and your global entry stripped, and your passport held also. So think about that. But global entry is about $100. Check with some of your credit cards and your airline programs, because they'll actually pay for the global entry. With the global entry, you also get TSA PreCheck comes with it. So make sure when it's time for renew your global entry, renew it on time. If it's 6 months coming up, renew it, because if it stops, your TSA PreCheck stops, and you have to go through the regular line again. Take off that belt and shoes. Take the food out your bag. You don't want to do that. So that's what you want to do. So yeah, check with some of the credit cards and some of your airlines that will actually pay for the global entry. Now, Clear. What is Clear? Clear is not governed by a federal entity. It is actually a private T. Rowe Price. And it actually is expedited security, a biometric. So they definitely use fingerprints and the retinal scan. You can use it for airlines, which it's at several different airports. Not all the airports, but several of the major airports. It's also at for stadiums. I used it going to a football game once. They just did the retinal scan in the face, and you went right in. They do it at concerts, other venues like that. Now, of course, at airlines, they have some of the big ones like JFK, Atlanta, LAX, they'll have a TSA Precheck line, but then they'll also have a clear TSA Precheck line, which is even faster. But make sure you not in just a regular clear line and you still got to take everything off. Make sure it's clear and TSA Precheck. So that's what clear is. NEXXUS, some people talk about NEXXUS and they hear NEXXUS. NEXXUS is for entering into the United States from Canada. So that's by land or air, by land. It's not by air, it's only by land. And you can go through certain, is it by air? Let me see, air, yeah, from Canada. And it's $50 a year, particularly for Canadian. It's great for Canadian citizens if you're going back and forth across a lot of Canadian borders. That's very helpful. So I just wanted to come to you and tell you about the difference between TSA Precheck, Global Entry, Clear, and also NEXXUS, because I've been asked about that. So consider which is best for you, which is most optimal, whether it's flying by land, and which one is going to be the best use of your money, and see if you can get it free. Okay, Yvette McQueen, MD. Hit subscribe, please. Subscribe and you get more up-to-date travel and health tips from your global traveling physician. Ciao for now. Peace and love.